I am ready when you are.
Okay. We are live now.
Yep, ready to go. Ready to go.
Yes.
Okay, you're already co-host. That's great. Are we
Yes.
recording? I will hit record.
And I'm admitting everyone in. Have a great session.
Sorry. Okay, everyone's coming. Great. Okay, thanks, Nancy. Welcome, everybody coming on in right now. Pam, Beata, or I'm sorry, Beta. I don't know how you want to say that. Let me know how to pronounce your name. That would be great. Marlene.
Beata.
Beata. Okay,
Hello.
great. All right. Welcome to Balance Class. Welcome, Marge, Lynn, Marlene, Henry. Welcome back. Well, it's first time. I believe, right? Possibly. All right. I've done this one once or twice before, but at a very inconvenient time for those of you who are in the US. Now this will be a more appropriate time for those of you on the other side of the world to me. We've still got people coming in, so welcome everybody as you come on into class.
Natalie,
Marlene,
are we going to be doing movement?
It will be movement. Yes, it will be simple movement. So you need a space that you can stand, maybe walk around in a little bit. It's a balance class. So if you're feeling balance challenged, I have a chair there just that you can, as an example, you can hold on to help you with your balance or set yourself up near a wall. Yeah. So we absolutely will be doing movement. But it's not like cardio, jump around or anything like that. There'll be none of that today in this class. All right, so who else is coming in? Got quite a few people waiting to come on in. Let's see how we go. All righty, Cynthia. We're coming on in. So welcome. As you come on into class, while we're waiting for people to come on in, feel free to type in the chat box where you're from. We do make some connections here sometimes. Sometimes I think, oh, we've done that so many times, but you may or may not have typed that in before. Let us know where you are. You might encounter somebody who you know could be around the other side of the world. So pop that in the chat box if you so are inclined. Or maybe you want to make some type of a comment about why you've chosen this class. Is this the first time that you're here with me today? Or have you been a number of times? All right.
You're going to do it up here or do it on your...
Do I have your address for it?
Cynthia, you're having a bit of a conversation. We can hear you. All right, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. We hear a few things that are going on in people's backgrounds. Arlene, welcome.
I'm trying to get my husband on this.
You want to make him do the work as well?
Right.
Good on you, Cynthia. We should. But I find that husbands tend to be quite resistant to doing the things that we want to do.
That's what I'm finding out.
You have to let them do it in their own time. I found my partner once, he refused to do the stuff that I was doing, and I was in bed and I had to get up for something, and there he was sneakily exercising in the lounge room. Yeah. Didn't want to let me know that he was doing it, but anyway.
Hey, are we supposed to be doing the exercises too?
Yes, or if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can watch. But yes, Arlene, we are going to all be doing exercises, if that's okay for you. They will pretty much be standing today. So it's balance, it's standing balance. So usually I give chair options, but unfortunately that's not really going to be too applicable today. So
okay.
You can watch, you can learn.
Okay, well, I'll probably set it out today and watch. Can I take the class again? Can you take the class more than one time?
You can come every week or you can request a recording. So you can do whatever works best for you. And it is a good idea sometimes to, you know, watch the first time, get an idea of what we're doing. Yep.
Exactly.
So, okay, well, I
Only-
feel confident.
Yeah, this is only my second day, so I'm just trying to get everything in.
Oh, wow. You have a lot ahead of you then, Arlene. You absolutely have so much to do. But yeah. you've got
Okay.
a lot to do. Okay. Gay, you're from Adelaide. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gay, you are my first Aussie online. So good to see you there. Well, see your G on the screen. So that's perfect. I think you might have been with the other Natalie yesterday. She put a mention. She's like, oh, I've got someone from Adelaide. I'm like, yay. We were all excited over here in Australia to have some other Aussie online. So thank you for joining me. All right. So in order for me to get started, I'm going to actually share my slides. Some of you have seen these plenty of times before, but some others haven't. So I'll try and go through them quickly. Right, so this is Better Balance. This class today is Better Balance. It is a movement class, so there will be movement involved, right? What we'll be doing, we're working on balance. So we're going to start really simply, but then I'm going to gradually increase the challenges. So maybe you're just at the more simple exercises. Maybe you're going to do the whole thing, and that's totally up to you. You can pick and choose and do what feels right for your body in the moment. And then you can leave the rest aside if that's okay for you. You can get a recording of the class. You can do it over and over again, or you can come back next week. It's all your decision, what feels best for your body. So this is a little bit about me. For those who don't know me, my name's Natalie W. I am in Melbourne, Australia. Right? There's two Natalies in Melbourne, Australia. So I'm Natalie W. I've been teaching movement since 2001, and that started off with a yoga teacher training, and that has morphed over the years to all of the movement trainings that take my fancy, which is a lot of them. Really love learning about the body. I'm one of those why people. I need to know why things are happening and how it works and what we can do for it. So I have chosen to take all of those learnings that I've done and share them with people such as yourselves. So I don't take myself too seriously. We like to have a little bit of fun, maybe a bit of a laugh in the process. And my aim is to help you become more independent, become more curious about your body, be really empowered about how your body moves and what you can do. And that will hopefully translate to being healthy and movement oriented and able to stay moving and do all the things that you need and you want to do throughout the rest of your life. A little bit of housekeeping from Get Set Up. So we do learn from each other. Ideally, you'd have your camera switched on, and that way you can see what the others who are attending the class are doing. If something that I'm doing is not maybe perfect for you, you might get an idea, some tips and tricks from somebody else doing a variation of the movement. It's also okay if you're not comfortable with your camera on, you can keep it off if that suits you better. I've already mentioned you can request the recording. Here is how you get one. You email help@getsetup.io, letting them know which class it was. So that's if you're registered for the class, you're able to do that. This class is being live streamed. So the best way to participate is to register and join the class that way. I'm more than happy for you to unmute yourself at any time for any clarification. You can ask me any questions that you might have, and I'll do my best to answer those. If you're not comfortable unmuting yourself, you can type those questions into the chat box. And Nancy, our technical assistant, will let me know that they are there or read them out to me. So she is also here to help you with any technical issues that might come about during the course of the session. Once again, just type those into the chat box. Get Set Up aren't paid to promote any specific product, so I will not be selling anything to you while you are here, rest assured. And then finally, your doctor. Please check with your doctor if you're new to any exercise. If your doctor gives you any advice that is contrary to what I'm saying, take that advice first. Right? They're medical professionals. I'm an exercise professional. I don't have any medical training. So that's it from there. Let me just stop the screen. I'm going to put myself on a bigger screen. If you prefer to see people on gallery view, you are more than welcome to top right-hand corner, just click on it and see the gallery view that way. A couple of little tools for class today. I am using a yoga strap. You can see that on the floor behind me. I'll be using that, and that's just a little guidance tool. You can have a scarf, you can have a belt. I have a rug here. I could be using the edge of my rug instead, or if you have nothing appropriate, it can be a mat, like a yoga mat or whatever it is that you have there. Anything that has like a straight line on it, we'll be using that, or imagine it. That's fine. You don't have to go out and get anything specific. The class will be done standing. So the chair is here simply as a tool to hold on to. If you're feeling a little bit too balance challenged, you can give this a bit of a hold or position yourself near a wall. Right? We don't want you falling over and hurting yourself. But again, it's a balance class. We're going to do what we can do. I think that might be about it. Oh, one more thing, one more tool. A block. I have a yoga block. It can be a book. It could be something big enough. I've got like a little whiteboard thing here. We're going to be putting it on our head, right? So something that you can do, right, and balance on your head like that. So go off and get something like that. Anything available? Oh, one more thing. I don't know why I'm forgetting all of these. I've got a rolled up towel here. It wants to be something soft. You can use cushions, you can use anything at the end of the class. We won't be using these for quite a while, but something soft that you can stand on that is not your hard, flat floor. We'll play with that. So grab all of those things if you feel confident, and then once we're ready, let's come up to standing. Now, I think I've already mentioned this, but we're going to start simply. I just need to move my cursor so it's not in the middle of my screen. Right? Okay, we're going to start simply, and you can stay there and practice the more simple exercises, and then leave the ones that might be a little bit more challenging for you and come back to them at some other time, maybe next week, maybe on the recording, or you could try everything and then pick and choose and then play around with them at home. So we are just going to come on up to standing, both feet on the floor. Again, if you want something for support, hold on to your chair, hold on to a wall, whatever feels okay for you, and notice how your feet are, where your feet are, and how you are standing. Do you feel confident just standing in the one position? Does your body sway, move around, or can you feel relatively still? Right? There's three main inputs that our body uses to help us with balance, right? One of the major ones is your eyes, right? So from where you can see everything around you, your brain is taking in all of this information from all of your surroundings, and it's using them to help you find your place in space. Right? The next one is your ears, right? So what you can hear, what's going around you that way. And then finally, there's the input that you get from your feet, right? From the surfaces that you're walking on. Now, as we get older, right, we lose the sensory awareness, the sensations that we get from our feet, the feedback that we get, and thus balance becomes harder and harder to do because we lose that, the nerves endings, right? We lose the sense, the feedback that we're getting from the floor. Doesn't mean that all is lost. All we need to do is practice balance and work through our feet a little bit more. Right, so once we've been standing, take a notice where your weight is on your feet. Shift your weight forward, maybe onto your toes, and shift it backwards. All right, just forward and backwards. Some of you will have done this with me already in foot class, but again, it's that awareness from our feet that we're bringing into balance. So we want to start there and backwards, and maybe side to side, or maybe a kind of circular motion. All right, move around a little bit. And then see if you can stop and be still there. And then from that point, all we need to do is turn our head one way. Turn your head one way. Right, so we're changing what we're looking at. And then come back to center. And then turn your head the other way. And come back to center. Did that sort of set you off balance there a little bit? Maybe you turn again. You can keep turning your head, or you can hold it and be still. One way or the other. Like I said, so simple moves, not necessarily easy. They might be. And then come on back to center and then pause. And then if you feel okay about it, what would happen if you closed your eyes? And just notice what's going on in your body, right? Does that take balance away from you? Again, like, remember, one of our main areas that help us balance is your eyesight. So if you close them, you've taken a big part away of your body's ability to sense where you are in space. Keeping them closed for a little while. Oh, I'm starting to shift a little bit. Notice what's happening in your body, and then open your eyes again. Okay, relatively simple so far. We're going to do the same thing, but with your feet together, right? So we've limited the base of support. We've made it a lot narrower. So first off, you're just standing. Do you feel wobbly here? This might be a really comfortable position, right? A lot of ladies, we've been taught to stand, more sit with your feet together, right? Is that ladylike? It's not so great for balance, right? Once again, turn your head one way. Come back to center. Turn your head the other way. Back to center. Maybe again, how is that rebalance? Are you still feeling really steady? Is it throwing you off balance a little bit? Remember, you can always hold on to something if that feels better for you. If you're finding it getting too wobbly, pause a moment, and then maybe close your eyes. Is it different? This is an example. I find myself moving around a little bit more. There's all these little adjustments my feet, my legs, my knees, my hips have to make to keep me from falling over here. Right? I'm like a tree swaying in the breeze. I'm going to open my eyes. Okay, that's some simple standing, doing nothing, not doing nothing, being still. This is where we're going to get our line. So I've got my strap here. Like I said, you can use a mat, the outside of your mat. You can use the end of a rug, or you can just imagine a line on the floor. Now, without looking down, look directly ahead of you. You're going to walk the line, 1 foot in front of the other. Walk, walk. So you're feeling whatever it is that you're using as that line underneath your feet. You're feeling your way. So you're getting some sensations up from your feet. I'm going to go backwards. You could turn around and walk forward if that's better for you. Oops, I think mine's buckling up on my carpet. No, that's just me not having the sensitivity through my feet to feel my strap. I normally do this on a yoga mat, right? Not normally on the strap. I'm going to do that again. So I'm looking directly ahead of myself and I'm walking the strap or the line I have here on the floor, feeling with my feet that line. So I'm putting 1 foot in front of the other with a bit of space actually. And then I'm going to walk back. You can't feel it. I think I've lost all sensitivity underneath my feet today. That's really interesting for me. All right. So that's a simple walk, backwards and forwards. Like I said, you can turn around. Let's try that walk, turning your head to one side and then turning it the other side, right? So we're used to looking in front. I'm going to turn my head one way. I'm going to keep walking and turn my head the other way. And again, I'm becoming more and more challenged because I'm moving my head. And then I'm going to go backwards, turning one side and then the other. Well, that's a little bit more of a challenge. Let's try that again. I'm not going to do this. Let me tell you, I'm not going to do this with my eyes closed. You're more than welcome to try that later if you want to. I think I will fall into a screaming heap. Okay, and then pause. All right. One final, we're just going to be standing again. We just walked 1 foot in front of the other. Let's go heel to toe or toe to heel. So I've got 1 foot directly in front of the other and they're touching. My feet are touching each other now. And I naturally just held onto the chair. You could, again, hold onto the chair. Let's just see if we can hold that in a balanced position. Feet next to each other are one. Feet one in front of the other are another way. of having your feet touching and just holding that balance. And again, I'm noticing myself wobble a little bit more. I'm going to turn my head to the right and to the left. And again to the right and to the left. Come on back to center. What if I quickly tried to close my eyes? There I go. Right. It's more difficult. Again, you could be holding on to something. Let's try the other foot forward. There's a good chance. The first side, you chose your more balanced side foot forward. We're not exactly the same on each side. I'm just going to hold it there. I've got my eyes open. I'm looking forward. I'm getting all of that input from everything in my vision. I'm going to try and look one way and then the other way. Once again, one. Okay, we're really getting longer here. Good tip for me, practice some more balance exercises and then maybe close your eyes. And my ankles are wobbling all over the place right now, but I have my eyes closed. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to open them again. And then I'm just going to walk forward, keeping that heel-toe connection. Right, so one foot comes directly in front of the other one. I'm still looking forward. One foot in front of the other one. The other one. I don't have a huge space to walk here. If you're in a bigger room and you've got more and longer to walk, feel free, go further. Right, switch going backwards again. Heel to toe. I'm not worrying about my line on the floor at the moment. I'm just doing that heel to toe. You could do both if you wanted to. I'm hoping I'm not going to hit my chair. Okay, come on back. And pause. All right. One more walking upwards, up and down. What we're going to do now is work on changing directions. So again, I don't have a lot of space here. You might want to go faster. What we're going to do is we're just going to walk forward and then we're going to try and change directions quickly and then come back again. Right, and see if that sets you off balance by turning. You can choose which way you turn, one way and the other way. Is that possible to do, or is that a little bit tricky? Again, it can be easy. Could be hard, right? It doesn't matter, right? We are where we're at in the moment. I'm going to do one more lap. I was hoping that you might have a little bit of a greater space to do this in. Have some more time and then come on back. Now, a little bit of balance through our feet again. You might want to hold on to your chair. So I'm going to start with some heel raises. So you've got your feet on the floor. We're going to lift our heels and lower them down. Then we're going to go the other way. See if you can lift the front of your feet up, whoops, and lower them down. Lift your heels. Now, this is a thing I do all the time, so I'm not too bad at this one. But the other way, I don't do a lot of lifting my front of my feet and lower. Lift your heels. How high can you lift them? How slowly can you lower them down? Lift your toes and then lower. And lift your heels and lower. Lift the front of your foot and lower. I'm going to do a few more of these. Other one. Two. The other way. Last one. And the other way. And rest. And because feet and balance are intrinsic, let's just wake up the feet a little bit more. And you might want to hold on. I'm just going to get one foot. I'm going to curl my toes under. So I sort of blend into my rug a little bit, right? I'm going to roll around through my foot, around the outside, turn to the inside, curl over the toes. Let's have a little play, a bit of a massage to my foot. You can move it in all the ways. It doesn't have to be any particular way. Can you sort of make some ankle circles possibly with your toes on the floor? This could be really painful, so be gentle on yourself if it is. This is something you can absolutely do sitting down. Right, that takes some pressure off your foot. because most of your body weight is on your bottom instead. A little bit longer on this one foot. Just wanting to wake it up a little bit more. And I'm going to switch the foot. Moving around. Again, it's random. You don't have to be doing it in any way in particular. You might want to sort of roll the big toe off the floor. You're rolling onto the little toe side of the foot and moving around, putting a bit of pressure there around. Oh, both toes have crossed each other. And around we go. Any which way. Okay, there we go. So we've woken up our feet a little bit more. Now we're going to pick up that block. So like I said, I have a block. It could be a book. It could be anything that you can now put on the top of your head and see if you can rest it there. So here's a different way to balance. Now, I have a tendency, and I see that if I don't like to watch my videos because I notice my chin is up quite a lot in my videos, right? So this is a really good tool if you are of a similar way that you hold your head. It's a good tool to try and get your chin down a little bit so the top of your head is more reaching up towards the sky. So pop whatever it is that you have at hand on the top of your head. See if you can just hold it there, right? Can you stay balanced with something on your head? Oh, what's going on in the rest of your body? I feel myself sort of tensing up here around my neck and shoulders. If that's you as well, can you let that go? Let go of the tension. And then if you feel confident, have a little bit of a walk around the room. Right? Is this something that they used to teach years ago? I don't know if they still do it, right? For deportment, right? Have people walk around with books or something on their head. Right? But again, it's another way of finding balance. Right? And balance doesn't just have to be the way that we're standing in our bodies, right? It can be balancing something on our head. It could be the balance also, and this is not the focus of my class today, but it can be the balance between work and rest, right? Or work and play, being fast or slowing down, right? Moving, not moving, all of those things. Right? I'm just sort of slowly, simply walking around the room. You could speed it up. Oh, if you're feeling confident there, I'm not being very balanced today at all. Right? You could turn your head one side and then the other. Okay, last time I did this, let me just tell you that right now, I was really balanced. This time, no. But that's okay. And that's one thing that you'll find, right? You'll find that some days you feel really able to balance easily, and then other days it will be like this. The block will keep falling off your head, right? And it's more of a challenge. Part of life, right? We're not exactly the same day to day. Okay. Enough of that block on the head. Pop it off to the side, or again, keep playing with that if you like that idea. Right. Another balance that we do a lot, or I teach a lot of, is something called a hip list. It's a one-legged exercise, right? It's using the outer hip muscles, and it's starting to put some weight on the one leg. Again, you can hold on if you prefer. Shift the weight back onto your heels. Have your legs straight. I'm going to start with my left leg. I'm going to press down through that leg so my other leg lifts up and lowers back down. Right? So my foot's going to lift off the floor, my other foot, and then tap back down again. Lift up and lower. Lift and lower. Okay? It's an outer hip. The focus of this one is a little bit more outer hip strengtheners. It's not just that. That's just our focus. You're using all of the muscles all of the time. Let's do a few more of these on the one leg. These can get very tiring very quickly, so you might want to switch a bit earlier than me. Right, last one. And then I'm going to switch over legs. I'm shifting my weight onto my right leg. You see this leg stay straight, and I'm just going to press down and lower. So my other leg's lifting and lowering. Like I said, this could be a lot of work. This can get pretty tiring on your hip quite quickly. So do what you can. Lift and lower. And I'm simply doing this exercise, again, because we're going to be putting now weight and working at balancing on the one leg. I'll do 2 more on this one. All right, and that's going to start with a bit of movement, which makes it sometimes a bit easier to balance. So I'm going to come back to my left leg. I'm going to press down into it so my right leg lifts. I'm going to try and swing my right leg backwards and forwards. Now you can use your arms as a little bit of counterbalance as you do this. And this is another thing that it's movement that I do in my hip class. All of the movements, all of the classes weave their way into one another, because all movements are important for your body. So 3 more here, 2 and 1, and then let's switch it over, stand on your other leg, and let's do the same thing here, backwards and forwards. Waking up the hips. Your whole leg, your arms as well. Give your arms a little bit of movement too. Everything else seems to be focused on your legs. 2 more here. That's it. And then pause. And now again, one-legged, but moving, right? Lift one foot off the floor and then lower. And then your other. I'm bringing my knee in towards my chest. Maybe you're just lifting off a little bit. Maybe you're holding on. Right. Lifting on up as high as I can. Lift and lower. Lift. Right, so from moving from one foot to the other foot, this is something that we're used to doing, right? When we're walking, right, one foot, we're on one foot, then we're on the other foot, right, when you're walking around. So the movement, your body's kind of used to that balance. The problem is, for a lot of us, is actually stopping and holding on one leg. But what would happen if you just actually stopped and held one leg in space and had all of your weight on your other foot? Does that make it more difficult? Let's switch on over the other foot. And release. So there's an exercise that can help you with that. It's called short foot. I get this from one of my teachers, Emily Splickle, who is, well, was New York based. She's recently moved somewhere, I don't know, also in the US, but well, she's a podiatrist. So what we want to do is step one foot forward, have the other foot back for a little bit of balance. Maybe breathe out. Lift your toes, spread them on out, and then put them back down onto the floor. Try and have them spread out. Put a little bit of a bend in your knee. Now, press your toes down into the mat. You don't want to scrunch them up. You want to keep them out and wide apart and pushing straight down into the floor. Good. So it's what we're calling a short foot or a foot to core connection. When we press down through that foot, it brings the awareness right up into your core. Once you have that, see if you can step onto the one foot and then lift your other foot off the floor and see if you can hold the balance. Does that help by spreading your toes out and pressing them down into the floor? Hold a little bit longer. And then release. Let's switch it on over. Right? Maybe your other foot steps back a little bit. Maybe it's by the other one. Put a bit of a bend in your knee. Lift your toes, spread them out, press them down into the floor. And then when you feel ready, lift your other leg up and hold. All right. Are you able to balance? Again, you can hold on to something for support, or we want to work with this hold. Let's come on out of there. Let's switch again. Let's try the first leg again. So bit of a bend, toes lift, spread, put them down, press them down into the floor, lift your other leg. Let me just remind you, it's not scrunching the toes up, it's pressing them down, straight down into the floor as best you can. And that can take some work to learn how to do that. So don't be concerned if that's something that's eluding you right now. Let's switch it over again. Bend the knee a little bit, lift your toes, spread them out, press them down, and then lift. Oh, I'm really stiffening through my hands. I'm spreading my fingers out. I just noticed I'm doing that. Wait, are you doing something similar or completely different? All right, release, little wiggle around. We're going to add the head turn now. We've done that on 2 legs. Let's try it on the 1, if that's okay. So same again, bend, lift, spread, press the toes down, lift your other foot, hold it steady. Maybe try turning your head one way, turning your head the other way. Whoa, there I go. Back to center, pause, and release. Switch on over, bend your knee, lift, spread your toes, press them down, lift your other leg, hold. If you feel okay, turn your head one way, turn your head the other way. Back to, oops, I just turned to the front, now I'm turning the other way. Back to center. And release. All right, I'm going to try that with my eyes closed. So you might want to hold lightly, and then maybe once your eyes are closed, lift your hand up off whatever you're holding on to, or you can give that a miss for now and just play with the one-legged balance. So same thing again, little bend in the knee, toes spread, press them down, lift your other foot, hold. And then let's see if we can just hold. Now, you want to work up one day towards holding it for a minute. Now I know I'm wobbling all over the place and I'm going to aim for 30 seconds. So I'm trying to work out how I can work out what 30 seconds are while I have my eyes closed. So I'm just opening quickly. All right, 10 more seconds to go. Just do the best that you can. 5 more. It feels like a mighty long time. That's it. And release. So switch on over feet. All right, same again. Little bend, lift your toes, spread them out, press them down. Lift your other leg. I'm just waiting for my clock to tick over. There we go, 30 seconds from now. All right. So I notice I've chosen my right foot for all of my balance or my one-legged balance challenges because I feel more steady on my right leg. I didn't suggest which one to start on for you, I don't think. Did you choose the leg that you feel most steady on? Right. Oh, I did it. 30 seconds. Okay, off we go. Maybe have a little wiggle around. Maybe move around some. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is try and rather than just lift our leg, we're just going to step out to the side and then step back. All right, step out to the side and then back again. I'm doing the same leg, stepping out and stepping back in, and stepping out, and stepping in. One more time, and step in. And then I'm going to switch legs. I just have to move away from my chair. Right, so other leg out, and then back in, and out. Right, next to the other one. A few of these. Right, letting my body learn the movement, stepping out to the side and back. Maybe 2 more. So that's a great way of playing with that. This next time, I'm going to step out to the side, and then I'm going to see if I can come to balance. Right, step out to the side, so side by lunge, and into one leg. Right, so I'm stepping onto the foot, and I'm pushing off and coming to balance. Side, and push and hold. Right, you could kind of go faster, or you can actually stay, whoops, pause on the one leg, out, and lift, and out, and lift. I'll do one more on this leg, and lift and hold, and then let's switch over legs. Right, so you can stay just out to the side and then right back next to the other one, or out to the side, push off and find a balance. Again, out to the side, push, and it's up to you. You could do a small step to the side and balance. You could do a really big step. You can play around with how you're doing that step off to the side and then into the balance. Right. Yeah. How long do you want to hold it for? Okay. Press. So you can do it like super fast. Right, tap, hold a little bit, or more slowly. We'll do 2 more. And last one. Okay, so that's off to the side. I'm now going to do a little bit of a lunge. So I'm going to step a foot back behind me, bend my knees, and then step forward. And again, step back, bend, whoa, and then step forward. And then back, bit of a lunge. So I'm pushing off with this back foot to step forward. Now, if you'd like, you can add an extra, you could do it on the one foot as well. Step back. You could come on up to balance, or you just step your foot next to the other foot. That's up to you. Now, I'm going to be using this as a tool to work to get down to the floor. One more time. And then back. And then I'll switch over legs. All right, so step back, bit of a lunge, and forward, and back, forward. If you want to make it more of a, I'm just staying on one leg balance, you could lift on up. So not put your left foot on the floor when you step forward. Oh, sorry, that's my left foot. Could be any, could be your other one, could be your right. I'll do 2 more of these. So by the end of this, you might have had quite a workout for your legs. All right, step down, maybe have a little bit of a walk around, or just be still, or sit down for a rest. So you can either stay like that, right? Now, depending on how you're feeling in your knees, we're going to come on all the way down onto our knees on the floor. Or if that's not okay, stay doing this lunge movement here. Right, so if you're okay, 1 foot steps back, oops, on the leg that I started on, lower all the way down. Now, if it's too much for your knee, you can get a pillow or something, put some padding underneath it, bring your other knee together, so both knees are down on the floor, and if it's all right, sit down on your feet. Come on back up again, step a foot forward, lift your other leg, step that forward. Right, start with your other leg. Right, now it's my left foot back. Come down onto my knees, bring your other knee next to it, sit down on your feet. That may or may not be okay for your knees. Just do what's okay for you. Come back up again, step your foot forward, and then up to standing. Right, 1 foot back, lower down, bring your other knee next to it, sit down on your feet, come back up, step forward. Right, so now we're using it as a tool to get up and down to the floor. You could be holding on to something. If that makes it more approachable or achievable for you, right? A chair is always a great tool, right, to help out with these kind of movements at first if you're not feeling confident about getting up and down. I'm going to do 1 more. Oops, I've messed up my legs. Which one I'm stepping back first? That's okay. I'm doing 1 more. Each leg is what I was trying to say. Other side. And then I'm going to come on down onto my knees and I'm going to stay down there. Now this is going to be a balance on our knees. Now, if this is not okay for you to get down here, stay standing and we're just going to start, do the one leg. So have 1 foot on the floor and the other one's going to lift. Now, if this is not okay for your knees, now's a great time. If you have a towel or something, pop it underneath your knees. So there's a bit of padding in between your knees and the floor. And then step 1 foot forward. Let me move back so you can see me. Okay, I've got my back toes curled under. You can have your foot flat if that's better. I prefer them curled under. And I'm going to try and balance here. I'm going to lift my right foot off the floor and I'm going to play with balancing on 1 knee as opposed to 1 foot. Right, so if you're trying to get up from the floor, you may probably not be holding this position, but you'll be briefly, possibly, in this position. We want to play with it so your hip can get stronger and you're used to reflexively moving right through this balanced position. Right. Play a little bit, and then when you've had enough, bring your foot back down again or bring your knee back down again and then switch sides. right? So your other knee or other foot comes forward. You've got one knee down, padding if you need it. Maybe give it a try, lifting your foot off the floor. Well, we can be all over the place here. See what's going on. What does it feel like for you on your knee? Okay. And let's put that foot back down again. Maybe sit on down on your feet for a moment, giving your feet a little bit of a stretch. That again, that might not be okay for your feet, or it might not be okay for your knees either. So wherever you can be, take a moment. And then we're going to come on back up again, and we're going to come to standing. So see how you can get on up. And then that kind of movement where we're getting more, rather than being still, what we're working on now is to be on one leg, move around a little bit. So let's just do that. Choose a leg, right? Choose a foot, stand on that leg, lift your other foot up, and then see if you can be a little bit playful and move your body around. There's no particular way to do it. Maybe you're reaching down towards the floor. Maybe you're reaching out to the side, right? But we want not just to be upright and still and teach the leg to support us or teach us to balance just in that one way. Can we balance but with varied movement of our body in space? Is that possible? So this is when we start to talk about what we call reflexive stability. How does everything in the body react to when we're in unusual positions? Right, that might be enough on one leg. Let's switch it over to the other leg. Right, if you're walking outside somewhere and you come across an uneven surface, something on your footpath or crossing the road or whatever, and there's a manhole cover or there's some, for us, we've got cobblestones in the area where I live. They're all over the place. It's not even. And sometimes you'll be stepping on something that you're not ready for. You didn't predict was there in front of you. So you're on this uneven surface and already your balance is thrown off. If you're practicing movements like this that are uneven, right, or over the place, your body's already learned to react to different stimulus, right? It knows what to do if it's in this kind of position, right, or this or whatever. Right, it's learned, it's built up some strength, all the different ways. All right, come on out of there. Sorry, I'm also I've got a habit of giving people lots of lectures. One final one, the same thing, but now on something that is not hard and flat. So I've got this towel, that might be enough. If you have a mat, you could roll it up. You can get a towel, you can get some pillows and cushions. You choose your level of softer, squishier, or if you have something like this, I don't think many people have these at home, right? It's a half a foam roller. You could turn it up onto the round side and try and stand on that. That's on the off chance that you have something like that around at home. But something soft, like I said, a rolled up mat would suffice, a towel, a blanket, right? See if you can step on that. Mine's pretty solid, actually. I want something a little bit less stable because I want to challenge myself, right, on this less stable surface. The same thing that we were just doing on the hard surface. Can I support myself? Can my body react to these different sensations that are now coming up from underneath my foot? It's unusual for me. I don't spend a lot of time walking around on these soft surfaces. So I want to train my body to be able to encounter that in my life and be okay with it, and for me not to fall over. All right, that's sliding away. Let's try the other leg. Your legs might be getting tired by now. Other side. This will be the last thing that we do. All right, move around. Whoa. And like I said, this might be too much right now. We want to build up to these things over time. And we've just sort of done this in 45 minutes, so to speak, or 40 minutes, maybe not even that long. So it's a really quick way of going through it all. Right, that may not be appropriate for you right now. Might be fun to play with all the different things, but you might want to go right back to just trying to stand on one leg and let that be it for now and practice that. That's an excellent way of beginning a balanced journey. All right. So on that note, I am going to step off, come on back down here and open up to any questions that any of you may have. Do you have anything that's come up during that session that you'd like to comment on, or you've got any questions about? Was I clear with my explanation? Sometimes I ramble on a little bit, so feel free to let me know about that. Arlene, are you going to be doing it in the future? Did you learn something there that can be handy? Great. Okay. Nice. Okay. Nodding your head. All right. You've got some kids to help you there. They can show you how to balance, that's for sure. All right. Okay. I'll just share my slides. I'll share my finishing slides with everybody. So if in the meantime, while I'm doing this, you have some questions, feel free to, let me know. Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining me in class today. It's been lovely to have you here. Right, my next class is tomorrow, 2 hours earlier than this one actually, will be a shoulder focused class. There'll be movements all around the shoulders, bit of strengthening, bit of stretching, that type of thing. If you enjoy your class here on Get Set Up, please feel free to share your experience. If you're on social media, use the hashtag or the @ symbol with Get Set Up. After that, if you have any stories that you'd like to share with us, Liz is our blogger. That's her picture there. She'd love to hear about them. Please email those stories to liz@getsetup.io. Now, there's loads and loads and loads of different exercise classes on Get Set Up now. I'm sure you'll find one to suit your needs. I will be sending a quick class note out to those of you who have joined here live today. They will have some, or that note will have some class suggestions that you might like to look into. We also ask that you recommend this class to a friend, so there'll be some links to click on for Facebook, email, and I think there's a WhatsApp as well, and you'll also be asked for your feedback. So it's automatically set to 4 stars. Feel free to add one. You can make it 5, or you can take one away. You've raised your hand. Did you have a question?
Yeah, there is a question in chat box.
Oh, okay. Yep. I'll get right to that as soon as I'm finished that. So thanks, Nancy. I just can't see it while I'm here on my share screen. So I'll come right back to that as soon as I'm finished. All right. Yep. So when you register for class, you'll be asked to invite a friend. So all you need to do is click on the button and you'll get a link to send off to them. It's more fun. If you can just do some things with a friend or maybe chat about them later, that might be something that you'd like to do. That'd be excellent. All right. And then finally, there's all the things that we can do. If you want to host an interest group, if you want to be on this side talking about something that you're passionate about, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any other class ideas that are not already on Get Set Up, let us know about that too. We may have the right host for you who's able to do something that you would be interested in. Again, we'd love it if you can share with any organisation that you're part of. We'd love more people to find out about Get Set Up and join in with us in our classes here. And then finally, you can request a recording of the session. And for all of that or any other questions that you may have, there's one email address for all of that. It's help@getsetup.io. So let us know. Now, let me stop the slides and I'll have a look at my question. Okay, it's very useful. I need to build up my strength. Okay, hang on. Okay, sorry. Now I've got to go scroll back up again. Is the purpose of this activity to train your mind or to teach your muscles how to keep balance? It's everything, Karen, right? You can't separate your mind from your muscles, right? It is all together. You're one system and you can't take one of those. You can't take your mind away from your body or your body away from your mind. So the purpose is all of it. That good question. Thank you. So, yeah. One thing I didn't mention with balance is your focus. So that's a good point with the mind. You'll find that if you're thinking about things while you're trying to balance, that your balance is harder to achieve, right? If you're on one leg and your mind's going off thinking about something that the kids are doing over there or whatever, or, you know, the dog's just escaped, that's going to have a really detrimental effect to your balance. If you can focus on something now, the focus can be something that you're looking at, or it might be something that you're feeling or something that you're hearing. Try and narrow your focus off into not just one thing. We say 2 points of focus. So, for example, it might be a point on the floor that you can stare at. That's one. And at the same time, maybe what you're feeling underneath your feet. And that will stop your mind, in a way, going all over the place because it's already occupied by two things that you're focusing on, and that will help you with your balance. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Because
Perfect.
what I'm focusing on is the fact that I can't balance.
Yeah. Okay. And then you'll be more wobbly, right? Then
That's
you're going
right.
all over the
Right.
place.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. And you know, it's practice. It's like everything. Practice makes perfect. And the more you balance, the more you try, the better at it you'll get. There's no other way. You've just got to keep doing it, right? There's no substitute for just practicing and doing things over and over again, and you'll get better. Absolutely.
Well, it was a tough class, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thanks so much for giving it a try, right? And doing it.
I'll be back.
Excellent. Thank you for that. All right. Are there any other questions? I've still got a few minutes. Yeah, there's only so much I can talk to myself. So getting better at it, but not that good. I know there's some people that can just chat on for hours. That is not me. So on that note, I'm going to finish off here. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in. Oops, there's another message that's come up. Let me just have a look. No, it's just useful. Okay, that's just thank you. So thank you, Glennis. Thank you for that. That's terrific. Oops. And Doris, thank you. Thank you again for joining me. All right. So I said lots of repeat people. It's great to see you. And I hope to see you all again soon. So take care and have a wonderful day. All right.